This is a multi-tool. It's got pliers, knives, files, saws, screwdrivers. It's even got things in here that I don't know how to use. The thing is though, none of them are quite as good as the singular tool they aim to replace. Sure, it's convenient in a pinch, but if I know I need a screwdriver, I'd rather one with a proper handle. The same goes for the pliers, the knife, the saw, the file, and everything else. Sometimes it is nice to have a tool that does everything. More often, it's better to have one device that does its one thing exceptionally well. Meet the NF Audio NE4 Evolution IEMs. They cost $749 and they're 3 IEMs in one. And that's because they come with changeable faceplates that don't just change the look of the IEMs, they have active circuitry built in that changes the sound of the IEMs as well. This one is for the popular tuning. This one is called reference tuning, and this one is called transparent tuning. There's also a fourth plate here that's available separately, and it's called the Explore tuning. I was really excited by the opportunity that this kind of a setup presented. But you already know where this is going from my multi-tool intro. To me, the NE4 is a multi-tool IEM that's not as good as a singular, focused IEM. That doesn't mean it's bad though, and there's one big surprise that came along with the NE4s that you might want to know about. But let's talk a little bit more about the sound of these faceplates first. The NE4s come with the grey reference faceplate installed, and I think it's probably the most tonally balanced of all the faceplates available with the NE4. It produces a good sense of staging and separation in the sound, and what I would call an overall neutral tuning that's a little bit too lean for me in the bass, but that some people are really going to enjoy. It didn't wow me though, and we'll come back to that. The blue transparent faceplate goes into an even leaner sound with even less bass, and I really didn't enjoy that one. The technicalities of staging and image focused remained about the same as the reference faceplate, but to me the tuning got worse, and so the net result was a lesser quality sound. I prefer the reference tuning, and the technicalities were just as strong, so why go to the blue one? For me at least. Next up was the red, or the popular faceplate, and as suggested by the name, this one is designed for pop music, and I'd say it's very well suited for that. It's got a beefier bottom end and an overall quite V-shaped tuning that can be really fun, dynamic and energetic on popular recordings in particular. However, at this point, I was starting to notice a trend. All of these tunings, all these faceplates, put too much emphasis, for me at least, in the 1 to 2 kHz range. And it leads to a slightly unnatural sense of tonality or timbre from the IEMs, and a bit of a nasal sound across all of them. It might suit some people really well because we all have different hearing, especially with IEMs. And check out the video I've linked in the description down below if you want to know more about that variation, but not yet, because you need to hear about the surprise inclusion with the NE4s. But let's quickly get the final faceplate out of the way first, and that's the Explore faceplate. Confusingly, it's the transparent one, but it's not the transparent tuning, that's the blue one. And so that's confused me multiple times as I wrote this review, but that's not NF Audio's fault. I have a feeling that the names and the faceplates for the included ones, the red, the blue and the grey, were all decided, and I think this one was released later. So yes, it's transparent, but its tuning is Explore. Either way, the Explore faceplate delivers another very lean tuning, and that makes it way too thin, way too lean in my opinion, not particularly enjoyable. Once again, the quality of the sound across the board is generally quite good. It's not harsh from the Explore plate or the transparent plate, even though they're quite lean tunings. The quality of the sound is quite good, so there's no harshness, no aggression, no nastiness. Once again though, the tonality is just off with the Explore plate, like with the others, because of that 1 to 2 kHz range bump. And so as you move from the popular, through to the reference, through to the transparent, and through to the Explore faceplates, with each step along that journey, you're getting more treble, less bass, or at least less bass and therefore the perception of more treble, and an overall worse sound in my opinion. And so if you compare the NE4 Evolution to the similarly priced Elysian Acoustics and Effect Audio Pilgrim Noir collaboration, the NE4 falls short on both tonal balance and on the overall sense of quality and refinement of the sound. As I said before, the quality and refinement from the NE4 isn't bad, but for a similar price, a little bit more money, you're getting an IEM in the Pilgrim Noir that's consistently and considerably better. So much so that I don't even feel like it's worth describing the comparison in detail, just watch my Pilgrim Noir review. And that's because I think unless you've got the red faceplates installed on the NE4s, which gives them a little bit more upper bass than what the Pilgrims offer, which some people might want, unless you're specifically after that sort of tuning, or unless you specifically love a super lean tuning, the Pilgrims just own the NE4s across the board. And so it's true. The NE4 is a beautiful IEM with some really cool features. I mean beautiful looking IEM with some really cool features. But the sound doesn't stack up, and I can't recommend them. But I can recommend this. This is the Kazoo 01, also from NF Audio. That's brilliant. Like the NE4 IEMs, this is tunable with a sliding cover that can give you either a warm or a bright tone. The build quality is also really good for a relatively cheap musical instrument, and I think they sound great if you can hum a decent tune. On that note, how these work is that you hum the tune into them. If you just blow into them, nothing's going to happen. It's not a trumpet. And so for $20 US, I think you can have way more fun with one of these, or maybe a few of them for family and friends, rather than buying yourself the NE4. Sorry to NF Audio. And in fact, when it comes to NF Audio products, I would personally be buying the recently reviewed NA2 Plus IEM and use the spare money you've saved on a couple of kazoos. Well, I bet you've never seen an IEM review take a turn like that, have you? Hopefully you've enjoyed that as much as I've enjoyed playing with these kazoos. And if you want to have some fun of your own, I've got some links through to the kazoos and the NE4s, of course, down in the description below. But I'm also going to give you a link up here to my review of the NA2 Plus, so you can learn a bit about NF Audio's cheaper and possibly better IEM options. For now though, a huge thanks to channel members, to channel Patreon members, and to those of you that leave super thanks on videos like this one. And so until next time, happy listening, be kind to each other, and I'll see you here next time on Passion for Sound.